Renji is a teenager working at a local arcade when he crosses paths with Lily, a foreign girl visiting from abroad. Thanks to a cute little culture clash, the two start catching feelings, though if they want this story to go anywhere, they'll have to navigate the awkward and hilarious bumps between their worlds. Our story kicks off with a tiny American tourist arriving in town. First thing she does? Stops to admire a manhole cover like it's a masterpiece at the Louvre. Don't ask why, she's just vibing with it. Wandering around, she suddenly spots something magical, a place called Game Center Garden. She bolts inside like it's Disneyland, and as she runs, a little koala keychain bounces out of her backpack. That, my friends, is what we call foreshadowing. Inside, Renji's on shift when he sees her battling one of those claw machines. She's trying to win a plush koala wearing a tiny apron. Clearly, she has a type. She lifts it, almost. But of course, the machine pulls its classic move. Oops, butterfingers. The plush slips. 1 coin down, no prize. Renji watches her prep for another round and quietly thanks her in his head. Those attempts keep the arcade alive. 3 hours later, Renji is clocking out, but at the exit he sees her still there, still going for that same stubborn koala. Either she's persistent or just really stubborn. And that plush, it's sitting there smugly, like it knows it's unbeatable. She stares at her final coin like it's the last slice of pizza. Then she whispers a little wish to the universe. Renji can't take it anymore. He walks over, drops his own coin in, and gets ready to show her how it's done. She looks annoyed at first, like, hey, I was using that, but then she sees the technique trademark. Instead of grabbing the plush directly, Renji hooks it by the apron. Victory. He pulls out the koala and offers it to her. Problem is, she doesn't speak Japanese, so Renji, summoning every phrase he remembers from English class, proudly says, "Here, present for you." Still nothing. Then he sees the Valentine's Day sign and tries again. "Happy Valentine's Day, present for you, Valentine." She takes the toy and says, "You wanna buy me with this piece of fluff?" Which Renji interprets as, "Wow, thanks. You're so sweet." Then she hugs him and adds, "Alright, I'm gonna take it. Now buzz off." Which to Renji obviously means best gift ever. Lily walks away with her hard-earned plush in hand, and Renji feels pretty good about himself. He helped someone and technically didn't spend Valentine's Day alone. That's what we call a win-win. That night, Lily sits on her bed, looking at her new koala. She thinks about Renji and realizes he wasn't so bad, not bad at all. Just then her mom walks in and startles her mid-daydream. Yep, Lily's officially entering that "maybe I want to go on a cute coffee date" phase. And Renji, let's just say he might be the lucky barista. The next day, Renji and his coworker are restocking the claw machines when they notice a quirky little girl staring at them from a distance. His buddy jokes, "Did you forget to pay her back or something?" Renji shrugs, "Pretty sure I don't owe her anything." Then he realizes this girl, yep, the foreign one, is a terrible spy. She's just standing there in plain sight, so he decides to mess with her a little and sneaks up behind her for a classic gotcha moment. Startled, she pretends she was just casually playing the claw machine. No big deal, right? But somehow, either through skill or divine arcade luck, she actually wins! Not just one prize either. She racks up a whole pile of plushies. Beginner's luck or secret arcade ninja? Renji's impressed. She's kinda funny. Plus, she's helping the store's revenue 1 coin at a time. He tells her his shift is almost over and offers to show her around the place. Of course, she doesn't catch a word. Her Japanese is still in beta mode, so Renji switches to his survival English. "I'm gonna take you for all the place." She poses, raises an eyebrow. "Are you okay?" "I have no idea what you just said." Undeterred, Renji confidently responds, Yes, I guapo. I show you place, baby." She bursts out laughing at his broken grammar buffet and decides to go along with it. Even if it's not technically a date, they're definitely hanging out now. Once Renji clocks out, he starts giving her the grand tour. Oh well, he just puts her on all the games he likes. First up, a racing game. Poor Lily can barely reach the pedals, let alone steer. She's crashing into everything while yelling, "Get off my freaking way," which if we're being generous probably means sorry, no clue what I'm doing. She finishes dead last obviously, but Renji, he's having the time of his life. Next they head to a rhythm game. Not guitars this time, just giant drums you whack with sticks. That's more her speed. Smashy equals fun. Then they move on to some weird game that's like Tetris had a chaotic baby with Candy Crush. It's a total mess. Out of all the awesome games around them, they somehow picked that one. Also, someone please teach Renji Arcade Etiquette 101. Let your date win once in a while, man, especially if she's the one feeding coins into the machine. After a while, they take a break. Renji grabs a couple of sodas from the vending machine. Lily's still shy, but she's starting to feel like maybe this guy isn't so bad. Maybe, just maybe, he can help her break out of her tourist shell. Hoping to give him a chance, she decides to let him pick the next game. she spots a photo booth nearby. You know, the kind people take cute sticker photos in, but feels too awkward to say anything. Renji notices where she's looking and asks if she wants to check it out. She nods, a little nervous but hopeful. So, of course, he completely misreads the situation. He marches straight to the zombie shooter machine. Apparently, the photo booth was right next to it. Note to self, next time just point with your finger. Renji figures this is perfect. Finally, a girl who likes action games. He thought these were way too intense for most people, but maybe she's different. Then he glances at Lily. She's frozen in fear as zombies start charging the screen. Yikes! Smooth move, Renji. Trying to save the moment, he goes full hero mode. Don't worry, I protect you. It's literally a line from the game, but hey, points for delivery. Lily, however, is not about to be outdone. She grabs the controller and goes full arcade commando, blasting every zombie in sight like she's been training for this since birth. Total wipeout. Poor zombies never saw it coming. No negotiation, no warning, just pure digital justice. A crowd starts to gather around Lily as she absolutely destroys the zombie game. People begin to realize maybe it's best not to mess with her. Before calling it a day, there's still time for one last game. Lily heads straight for a claw machine. Apparently, spending all her coins yesterday wasn't enough fun. This time she's aiming for a cute koala mug. The claw picks it up, wiggles it a little, and drops it. History repeats itself. Renji wants to help her out, just so she doesn't leave feeling defeated. But nope, Lily's determined to win this one on her own. She gives it another shot. The mug slips again, but this time it rolls closer to the edge. Just one more push and got it! Victory is hers. A bit later, Renji waits outside the arcade. Looks like Lily went to the restroom. He notices the goodie bag she won earlier and thinks, well, she's leaving with half the prize stock. Mission accomplished. When she comes out, she hands him the bag. But something's off, she's unusually quiet, almost like she's upset. Renji's not quite sure how to read the situation and doesn't feel confident enough yet to ask. So he just awkwardly says goodbye and turns to leave. But she stops him, holds out the koala mug and says, for you, mother, fluffy. Embarrassed, she chucks it into his hands and dashes off. Renji watches her go and finally realizes, she won it for me? Tucked inside the mug is a small note that says, be my Valentine. It's written in English, which unfortunately Renji still doesn't totally get. He figures it's another sweet gesture, just like the plushie from yesterday. Cute, but harmless. Still, he doesn't even know her name. That night at home, Renji drinks from his new mug and decides to look up what be my Valentine actually means. His phone translates it to something like go out with me. And just like that, he realizes, wait a second, did I accidentally confess to her? The next day when Renji arrives at the arcade, Lily is already waiting. He approaches her wanting to clear the air and talk things through. But Lily's no rookie. She takes one look at him and bolts inside. Pro tip, if you avoid the conversation, they can't reject you. Genius. Renji chases after her. She won't let him get close, so now he's running through the entire arcade trying to catch up. Somewhere along the way, what started as a chaotic misunderstanding turns into something oddly fun. Forget fields of flowers. This is a rom-com chase scene through flashing lights and game machines. Eventually, Renji catches up to her. He hands her an envelope and asks her to read what's inside. She sits down and opens it. It's a small notebook with a handwritten message in English, so there's no room for confusion. The letter reads, Dear blonde girl, thanks for visiting me every day. I'm starting to feel like a modern art exhibit. My name is Renji. My English is not the best, so please be patient if I mess up a little. Thank you for the gift yesterday. This mug is now my favorite thing ever. About your note, I think it was your way of asking me to be your boyfriend. If that's true, well, I'm flattered, but I can't be your boyfriend yet, because I don't even know your name. But that's an easy fix. We can get to know each other little by little and see where this goes. That's why I made this notebook, so we can write to each other while we learn the language. What do you think? Lily stands up and says with confidence, your heart's gonna be mine. Which, yes, is her adorable way of saying she wants to win him over. Immediately blushing, she turns to run away again, but not before finally introducing herself. My name's Lily. See you around. Renji shouts after her. Come see me again, miss. And she casually replies, later, loser. Which will take as, I'll be back soon. And that, folks, is how their story begins. A wholesome romance powered by cultural confusion, koalas, and very questionable English. Renji is doing his usual shift at the arcade when Lily shows up to hand over the latest entry in the shared journal they've been working on. It's actually helped them get to know each other better. That's how we learn Lily Baker is from the UK, but for simplicity's sake, let's just keep pretending she's American. She's super into Japanese culture, but the language still trips her up. which is why she hasn't made many friends. So most days she ends up hanging out alone at the arcade. Today she's staring at Renji, clearly hoping he'll say something. But Renji, king of not reading the room, doesn't pick up on the vibe. And of course that gets on Lily's nerves. Then a couple of Renji's co-workers walk by and immediately compliment his new haircut and outfit. That's when it hits him. Cultural misunderstandings are gonna be a real challenge. But let's be honest, this one's not cultural. It's just common sense. Girls everywhere appreciate it when you notice they made an effort to look good. But Renji? He's still lost in translation, emotionally. The next day, Lily shows up to school ready to own the day. She greets everyone as she walks into the classroom. They greet her back, sure, but you can tell it's just out of politeness. She ends up sitting in the corner, all by herself. The class rep sees this and decides someone needs to do something about it. She starts flipping through her English phrasebook to prepare, but someone beats her to it. Aoi, a bubbly girl with zero fear, walks up and says, "Hello, I want to be your friend, yes or not?" Then she spots Lily's koala keychain and says she loves koalas too. Lily, trying to prove her koala devotion, literally imitates one. Weird? Absolutely. But also kinda cute. Now here's the twist. Aoi just so happens to be Renji's little sister. That night, she begs him to teach her how to win at arcade games because she's planning to go with her new friend and she wants to impress her. She mentions that her friend is British but sounds kinda American. Renji feels a chill. Coincidence? But Aoi keeps talking. She says her friend told her a story about an arcade employee who helped her win a prize once, and now she wants to do the same. Renji starts sweating. Aoi notices. She stares him down and asks, point blank, "Was it you?" He panics and denies it like his life depends on it. And thankfully, Aoi believes him. Because let's be real, if your younger sister finds out you're chatting up middle school girls at your job, that's not just awkward, that's family counseling awkward. Aoi even says that if it were true, she'd have to tell their dad. And they'd probably just erase Renji from the family group chat altogether. The next day, Aoi and Lily hit up the arcade. Aoi tries to win Lily a prize, but no luck. Then Lily tries using the tips Renji gave her, but it's a total disaster. She gets so frustrated she nearly bursts into tears. And that's when Renji shows up, wearing what can only be described as undercover movie uncle attire. Sunglasses, loud clothes, the whole thing. It's his way of staying incognito so Aoi doesn't recognize him, but to her, he looks like some shady guy trying to recruit girls for who knows what. Luckily, Lily recognizes him instantly and doesn't freak out. In fact, she thinks he looks kind of like a boss mode koala. Aoi tries to warn her to stay away, but Renji jumps in to offer some advice about the claw machine. Aim for the head, he says. That's where the weight is. If you grab it anywhere else, it's gonna slip out. It makes total sense. Aoi tries it, and boom! First try, she wins. For a second, she thinks maybe she misjudged this weird guy. But then Renji pats her on the head and says, "Nice job." Aoi freezes. She immediately thinks this guy is trying to recruit her for something shady and threatens to report him. Renji, terrified of being cancelled online, runs for his life before Twitter gets involved. Meanwhile, Lily turns to Aoi and says, "So yeah, you think you can steal my man, huh?" Which in her head means something like, "Back off my boyfriend, bestie." Another day, Lily goes shopping for school supplies with her mom. She's checking out pens, but none of them are good enough. She tells her mom her friend has this pen that writes in rainbow colors and sparkles in the light, and now she wants one just like it. Lily tells her mom, "Chill, it's just a notebook for class, not a billboard ad." She keeps browsing the pens until, plot twist, she bumps into Renji, who just happens to be there. The second she sees him, she ducks behind her mom like she's dodging paparazzi. Thankfully, he's not wearing that outfit. You know, the one that made him look like an undercover villain from a discount action movie. Otherwise, someone might have called mall security. Renji politely introduces himself to Lily's mom, and the mom, totally confused, asks her daughter why she's hiding. Lily whispers that she looks like a mess and doesn't want him to see her like that. Her mom just laughs and says, "Sweetie, guys don't care if you're in sweats. Half the time they don't notice their own socks don't match." Since all of this is happening in English, Renji's just standing there smiling like, yes. Then the mom thanks him for looking after her daughter at the arcade. Renji's like, "If anything, I should be thanking you. She comes every day and keeps the place in business. I might owe her half my paycheck." And of course, because she's a mom and moms live to embarrass their kids, she adds, "Oh, and she cuddles that stuffed animal you gave her every night." Just to clarify, Lily does, not the mom. Renji points out the pen Lily was eyeing, and she asks her mom for allowance money, but her mom reminds her she already spent it all. Turns out daily arcade visits aren't exactly wallet-friendly. Sensing an opportunity to earn some brownie points with the family, Renji offers to buy the pen for her. Right then, a voice comes on the store's speakers announcing that they're about to close, and to top it off, they play a little song. Lily recognizes the tune but doesn't get why it's playing. Her mom explains, "Oh, that's how stores here politely say, 'Thanks for shopping. Now please leave.'" For some reason, this makes Lily imagine herself frolicking in a sunny field. like she's in a commercial for allergy meds. They all say their goodbyes and head home. Later, Lily gives Renji the newest page in their shared journal, written with her shiny new pen. It's so glittery, Renji needs sunglasses just to read it. The next day at school, Lily tells Aoi she's struggling with her relationship. She keeps trying to get closer to her crush, but it's like he's wearing emotional noise-canceling headphones. Aoi still isn't sold on this whole mysterious guy with questionable fashion choices thing. Something about him just feels off. But being a supportive friend, she offers a tip. If pushing doesn't work, maybe try pulling. Since Lily's still learning Japanese, Aoi says it in English. Push, number pull. Lily, however, thinks she's talking about the desk and just nods like, okay. After school, Lily heads to the arcade with Aoi tagging along. Renji spots them and immediately panics. He throws on his mysterious stranger look again, hoping Aoi won't recognize him. Renji walks up to the girls and asks if they need help with anything, but this time Lily's not in the mood for small talk or sweet smiles. She shoots him a death glare and walks away without saying a word. Renji stands there like he just got accused of stealing candy from a kid on Halloween. He has no idea why she looked at him like he's the villain in a low-budget spy flick, but he doesn't have time to figure it out. Someone reminds him he's on the clock, so he gets back to work. Meanwhile, Aoi congratulates Lily on her flawless performance. She tells her that totally worked. He's gotta be shook right now. Or at least that's what the gossip magazine at the hair salon claimed. But Lily? She's not celebrating. In fact, she's a bundle of nerves. That dramatic I'm over you act took everything out of her. Aoi notices the stress and starts to realize, oh no, Lily's actually head over heels for this arcade guy who dresses like an NPC from a discount adventure game. Trying to cheer her up, Aoi says, don't worry, he's probably heartbroken right now. But just then, they spot Renji chatting it up with two girls who are very clearly not there for tech support. Lily's not having it. She charges over like it's game time and decides to go full-on push mode. Literally. She shoves Renji so hard he hits the ground, then shouts, "Hey, you stupid mother Rien," which in her heart meant something like, wow, real classy of you. Right on cue, Lily's mom shows up with grocery bags and sees her daughter storming in, tears and all. Time for some emotional damage control. At dinner, her mom asks what happened. Lily tells her the whole story and quietly thinks, Renji must be completely over me by now. She knows she overreacted, but when she saw him talking to those girls, her inner drama queen took the wheel. At least she didn't go full social media meltdown with a post like, where a queen walks, basic girls vanish, or however that quote goes. Her mom reassures her it's all normal. Emotions are tricky like that. But if she doesn't want to turn into a full-on jealous cartoon character, she needs to learn how to deal with those feelings. And, apologize. She even offers some love advice. Says those same tricks once landed her Lily's dad. Lily starts taking mental notes. The next day, Renji finishes his shift and wonders what happened to Lily. Ever since she pushed him to the floor like a linebacker, she's been MIA. Did he blow it? Suddenly, Lily shows up, running. She asks if they can talk and they sit on a bench in the park. Then she hands him a muffin she baked herself. Renji takes a bite, and it's actually amazing. What he doesn't know is it took her forever to get it right. She and Aoi went full science fair in the kitchen, and the first batches were almost radioactive. But her mom said the way to a guy's heart is through his stomach, so she kept at it until it was perfect-ish. Then Lily hands him the shared journal and asks him to read the latest entry. Renji opens the notebook and reads, "Sorry for glaring at you, and then pushing you like a WWE wrestler. Aoi told me that was a poor move to win your attention, but clearly it backfired. And when I saw you talking to those other girls, I got really sad. So now I have to ask, what would you have done?" Renji smiles and says maybe they could hang out sometime when he's not working. Lily is stunned. Wait, was that a real date? No one knows how this story will play out, but for now, they're back on the same page, literally, and it comes with muffins. Lily, always the planner, decides to prep for her date at the night before, so begins the great fashion crisis of 8 p.m. She asks her mom for help picking an outfit, and in classic mom fashion, she says, "You look beautiful in both." A sweet sentiment, but zero help, mom. Thanks for the motivational speech. Seeing her daughter more stressed about clothes than actual rest, mom suggests she get some sleep if she wants to show up to her date functioning like a human being. Lily smugly says already handled because she downed a Red Bull. Yep, energy drinks over beauty sleep. Bold choice. Mom gives her the classic "Are you serious?" face and reminds her that those are meant for after sleeping. Not as a replacement, but hey, damage done. Meanwhile, Renji is waiting for her outside his job, like they agreed. They're heading to a new arcade, bigger, louder, flashier, basically a mini Vegas for button mashers. A change of scenery, as people say when they've run out of better plans. And then Lily arrives, looking like she just came back from a late night zombie shift. The Red Bull hit alright, hit and stayed. She looks like she hasn't blinked since midnight. Renji, mildly concerned, asks what's up with her. "I slept 14 minutes" expression, but Lily insists she is she's totally fine. Fresh as a daisy, she says. Sure, Lily, a daisy after a heat wave. Trying to boost her mood, Renji remembers how last time she got grumpy because he didn't compliment her outfit. So this time, he says she looks really pretty. Lily appreciates it, but honestly, she's so drained that she barely reacts. It's like complimenting a mannequin, a very tired, slightly vibrating mannequin. They head into the arcade and Renji asks what she wants to try first. He turns around and Lily's gone. Poof, lost in the crowd like a sock in the laundry. After a rescue operation worthy of National Geographic, Renji finally accepts the truth. Lily is running on fumes and a prayer. He suggests maybe they postpone the date, but Lily? Nope, not happening. This date is full steam ahead. Renji agrees but gently suggests they at least stick together. In a rare act of boldness for him, he offers his hand, which for someone from his background is basically the PD equivalent of skydiving. Lily, now the one feeling shy, just grabs the sleeve of his jacket. Baby steps. As they wander around looking for something fun but not life-draining, they stumble on a new attraction. Muscle Koala Forest Defender, a VR game where you play a beefed-up koala protecting the woods from evil hunters. It sounds like a rejected environmental PSA, which explains why no one is in line. On launch day, naturally Lily's the only person alive who wants to play it, so they're escorted into a very exclusive, totally empty VR room. They put on their headsets and boom, they're in the middle of the forest, wearing full-body fuzzy muscle koala onesies. Lily looks weirdly adorable. Renji looks like he'd lost a bet on live TV. A dramatic voiceover announces that evil hunters have invaded the peaceful forest and are up to no good, doing typical villain things like breaking the rules and messing with the wildlife. Then suddenly they are surrounded by said hunters, who are so badly animated they look like extras from a 90s PC game. They start getting shot at, and since no one even bothered to explain the controls, their only plan is run for your lives. Too bad Lily's already running on empty and sleep hits her like a truck mid-firefight. Next thing she knows, she's waking up in Renji's arms and he's hopping through trees like a discount action hero. He drops her off in a safe spot and somehow, he's now a total pro, diving into the action, dodging shots, and handing out punches like it's a Black Friday sale. He comes back for Lily and they keep going until a hunter ambushes them and corners them near a cliff. Renji shouts, "Get down!" pulls a bullet-dodging move straight out of the Matrix, and then hits the guy with a flying kick that sends him to dreamland. Except none of that actually happened. Plot twist. It was all just Lily's dream. She never even woke up. In reality, they got taken out in the first round. Renji ends up carrying her out of the arcade like a sleepy potato. Date night officially over. At least she got some rest. But man, what a letdown of a date. Renji basically paid the entry fee just to babysit a snoring teammate. That night, Lily's fully recharged and joins her mom for a grocery run. While they shop, her mom casually mentions that energy drinks are supposed to be taken after sleeping, not before. Lily proudly enlightened says she gets it now and plans to down 2 of them the moment she wakes up. Her mom's like, absolutely not. Just go to bed like a normal person. Those things aren't toys. They mess up your heart and kidneys. They're for truckers, not teenagers with homework. Meanwhile, Renji gets home, still looking unusually dressed up. His sister notices and asks if he had a date. He says yes, but he's clearly not thrilled about how it went. She asks how it went, but Renji can't lie. It was kind of a bust. Yoi tries to cheer him up. Hey, don't worry, there'll be other chances. The fact that a girl even liked you? That's already a miracle. At this point, anything's possible. Renji's like, okay, now you're just being mean. You started supportive and now you're just roasting me. Plus, he can't exactly tell her the date was with Lily. A few days later, Lily's hyped because she aced her English test. Which, let's be honest, isn't that impressive. Girl already speaks English fluently. Bragging about that is like flexing that you can tie your own shoes. How about trying a Japanese test instead, huh? The girls in class get all excited when they see her grade and immediately ask her to help them prep for the next exam. Aoi doesn't love that they're trying to mooch off her friend, so she steps in. But the class rep beats her to it. The rep politely but firmly tells them Lily's still learning Japanese and they shouldn't overload her. Aoi jumps in and tells them to back off too, something like, go find a pig to bother. The girls walk away teasing like, oh, look out, here come the class rep and her boyfriend. And Aoi fires back without skipping a beat. Yeah, well, I'm dating your mom. The class rep runs off after the girls. Probably to do whatever class reps do in situations like this. I'm guessing a stern talking to. Meanwhile, Aoi checks on Lily and tells her not to worry. Those girls aren't mean, they're just opportunistic. Then Aoi accidentally drops another one of Lily's tests. She picks it up and realizes it's her Japanese exam. She didn't get a perfect score this time, but a solid 70%, which is kinda wild, considering Aoi speaks Japanese and still scored lower. Yeah, that one shut me right up. Later, when they're back home, Aoi tells her brother about what happened, and Renji starts to think that Lily's little journal project might actually be working. Aoi says Lily's coming over tomorrow to study. Exams are just around the corner, and they need to cram. Renji Renji's so shocked he drops a plate and it shatters all over the floor. He's clearly not ready to have her in the house, but since he's got classes that day, he figures their paths won't cross. Then a thought hits him. Does Lily even know Aoi is his sister? Next day, Lily shows up and Aoi takes her to her room. She leaves her there for a bit to grab some drinks, and Lily takes a look around. On the desk, she spots a family photo. And guess who's in it? Yep, Renji. She connects the dots and figures it out. Big brother alert. Aoi walks back in just as Lily's eyeing the picture. Lily tries to play it cool, but Aoi notices she's suddenly acting super jittery. She asks if Lily needs to use the bathroom or something. Instead, Lily hits her with, "So, where's your brother?" Aoi tells her he's at his university classes. Wait, university? Okay, hold up. That means he's way older than Lily, right? Yikes. Aoi tells Lily that if she needs to use the bathroom, it's right down the hall. Lily heads out like she's going to the bathroom, but instead, she finds herself standing in front of Renji's bedroom door. And that's when the classic battle begins. Her inner angel versus her little troublemaker. The angel goes, "Nope, don't even think about it. Respect his privacy, girl." But the little devil's like, "Come on, what if he's hiding something juicy? This might be our only shot." So yeah, guess who won that debate? Lily sneaks into the room. On the desk, she spots his journal and the mug she gave him. That gets her all sentimental for a second. But just as she starts flipping through pages, boom! Renji walks in and catches her red-handed. She bolts out of there like it's a spy movie. Renji chases after her, but Aoi pops in like a human roadblock and asks him what on earth he's doing home. He says he skipped class and got back early. The girls rush into Aoi's room and slam the door. Lily's absolutely mortified. Aoi notices something's off, but instead of guessing the truth, she assumes Lily's just going through gaming withdrawal from not playing her beloved Mega Macho Koala. Luckily, Aoi came prepared. She pulls out a game and suggests a little break. Meanwhile, Renji's chilling with his off-brand Nintendo Switch, one of those knockoff consoles that claims to have 2,000 games, but it's really like 5, and 4 are just Mario with different hats. Renji can't stop wondering what Lily was doing in his room. Did Aoi already tell her who he is? Because if she did, well, he's about to get grilled for hanging out with a high schooler. And yeah, it's weird. He knows it. We all know it. Not cool. His brain starts spiraling, imagining worst-case scenarios, like the kind where you end up explaining things to a judge. Right then, Aoi and Lily walk back in, and Renji panics, thinking this is it. But nope, Aoi just wants to borrow his console. Renji's like, "Whoa, weren't you two supposed to be studying?" Aoi shrugs, "It's just a tiny break, chill." He asks what they're playing, and Aoi whips out the new Mega Macho Koala Extra Grid Edition. Renji's shook. First they made a VR game, and now there's a sequel. In this one, the koala fights aliens who want to destroy his forest. Renji's like, "What? What's with this forest? Why does everyone want to wreck it?" Lily's fired up, ready to jump into the action. Renji hands over the console but reminds them, "Don't forget to hit the books." He sticks around hoping Lily might say something to him, but she doesn't, so he decides to peek in. Inside, the girls are struggling hard. They can't even get past the first level. Those aliens keep torching the forest. Renji says, "Alright, break time's over." But then Aoi has an idea. Why not ask him to help them get through it? Renji hesitates. Should he even be here? But then Lily gives him those puppy dog eyes and pleads, "Please save the forest." Well, game on. He grabs the controller and starts playing. Time flies. He reaches the final boss. Renji's totally into it now. He thought the girls were just bad at games, but nah, this game is brutal. Then he notices Lily's koala isn't moving. Turns out she's not watching the screen. She's watching him. Renji gets flustered, and yep, game over. More time passes. They finally get back to the final boss. And once again, they get absolutely demolished. And studying? Oh yeah, it's still pending. Lily is trying out a new fighting game starring the boyish koala. She jumps into a match against random players, but no matter how many combos she throws, her opponent blocks everything and counters like a pro. She ends up losing the first round. One of the boys watching her elbows his friend and says, "Come on man, let the girl win." But the boy shrugs and says, "That's not how real gamers play." Then the boy with glasses chimes in, "Yeah, and that's why no one shares the table with you." Eventually, the boy gives in and lets his guard down, letting Lily get in a few easy hits. But Lily catches on quickly. She's not into pity parties. In fact, it just makes her even angrier. So the boy with glasses grabs the controller and tries to make it look a little less obvious. And then, boom! Lily's koala powers her into beast mode and absolutely crushes them. A well-deserved and relentless victory. She's thrilled and runs to tell Renji about her epic victory. But no, Renji missed it all. Why? Because he was flirting with another girl? It turns out Renji had seen a girl crouching in front of one of the machines, reaching underneath for something. He approaches her and asks what she's doing, and the girl jumps as if she'd been caught stealing candy. She exclaims, I wasn't doing anything weird. Renji laughs, tells her she's not in trouble, and notices a coin had rolled under the machine. Zoe helps her pull it out. Looking closely, he knows her. Her name is Momoko. She goes to the same university. Momoko panics. No, I think you mistook me for someone else. She is clearly just trying to avoid the embarrassment of being seen crawling around for a coin. Renji assures her he won't tell anyone. Then casually he mentions that he works at the arcade. Suddenly Momoko connects the dots. That's why he never joined any clubs on campus. Renji says, wait, how do you know? Before she can finish her sentence, Isamate is already halfway out the door. The next day, Momoko returns to the arcade and sees Renji helping another girl pick up some coins. That small moment reminds her of how they first met and triggers the flashback. She was walking across campus when she tripped and dropped a pile of papers. Renji stopped to help her pick them up. It wasn't exactly a fairy tale-like encounter, but hey, it stuck with her. Since then, she's been watching him from afar, indifferently. Now that she knows where he works, she thinks she might visit him more often and get to know him better. What Momoko doesn't know is that Renji already has someone watching him. Is her name Lily? And her jealousy radar is on full blast. Momoko spots a stuffed animal inside the claw machine and tries to grab it, but barely manages to push it in. Lily sees this as the perfect opportunity to stake her claim. She confidently approaches, like a true arcade queen. For a second, Momoko thinks, wow, this girl must be a real pro. But then things get worse for Lily. And the next thing she knows, she runs away teary-eyed. Classic arcade drama. The next day, Momoko returns, this time with her friend Aoi. She tries her luck at a game of rock, paper, scissors, but keeps losing again and again until she runs out of money. Finally, she reaches her limit and quietly collapses in frustration. As usual, Renji showed up in cool guy mode, wearing that quirky outfit he wears every time Aoi takes Lily to the game center. Lily runs out of tokens, but luckily Aoi hits the jackpot on the same machine. It turns out that once you figure out the trick, the game is a piece of cake, especially if you Google it first. But that only makes Lily feel even worse about losing something so basic. They go off to find a new game, leaving Renji behind. Oi mentions that while Lily loves claw machines, it's good to try out coin-operated games. You get a lot more playtime with a single token, which is perfect for Lily, since she often spends hours without realizing it. When they get back, they catch Renji chatting with Momo. Oi sees him and mentally hears a dramatic, well, we're lost. She quickly reassures Lily. She's probably just helping her, it's part of her job. But Lily isn't buying it. She reminds Oi that she heard Momo goes to her university, which definitely puts her in a different category than just an ordinary customer. Aoi connects the dots. Yes, this is romantic rivalry territory, and honestly Lily doesn't fit in well. Momo's already gone through the maturing phase and looks very college ready, while Lily still gives off high school girl energy. Aoi even thinks to herself, if I'm honest, I get it. Oh. Meanwhile, Momo is strolling through the arcade, happy about her conversation with Renji, until whoosh, Lily steps in her way. Momo recognizes her instantly. It's that video game prodigy from yesterday, the one who couldn't even grab a plushie. Momo blinks. Can I help you? And Lily just walks away. What's going on with you and my boyfriend? Don't play dumb, I'm already 3 steps ahead. We had a date, I was at his house, I saw his room, Aoi almost fell over. Wait, she was at Renji's house? Things were getting ugly. All eyes were on Momo. And she stared at Lily and said, "Sorry sir, I don't speak English." She didn't understand a word. Aoi let out the breath she didn't know she was holding, because if Momo had gotten the message, she could have given Lily the power of a final boss. But hey, the danger was over, for now. Lily slowly turns to Aoi with that look. Well, go on, translate. Aoi's internal alarm bells are ringing, because if she translates it word for word, she'll be the one to get slapped next. But if she doesn't translate it, Lily might actually hit her. So Aoi steps forward, thinks quickly, and with her best fake smile says, "My friend just wants to know if you'd like to play with us." Momo happily agrees to play. The truth is, she was already a little bored playing alone. But Lily isn't so sure. She suspects Momo just wants to beat her on her own turf. So without hesitation, Lily leads her straight to rock, paper, scissors. Yes, that game. The one Lily has already proven she's terrible at. But anyway, it turns out Momo isn't exactly a champion either. They both end up losing all their pieces, round after round with no victory in sight. Aoi looks at them in disbelief, as if to say, of all the games, why choose the one where you've already hit rock bottom? She tells them to change their strategy right now, and that if they really want to win something, they should try the coin machines. You know, those machines where you throw in a coin and it pushes a pile forward, maybe dropping a pile towards you, or maybe doing nothing at all. Usually surrounded by guys who look like they've been playing since the Clinton administration. Well, it turns out Aoi is basically the MVP of those machines. Calm, collected, and walks away with a ton of coins like it's nothing. Renji congratulates her on the haul, and Aoi brushes it off, saying it was pure luck. But Renji smiles and says, luck is just another skill. And with that, Aoi lights up like a Christmas tree. Lily, on the other hand, she doesn't light up. She's more like silently fuming as she watches Aoi talk too much to her potential boyfriend. So seething with jealousy, Lily storms back to the rock paper scissors machine again, and of course she loses again. The next day, Aoi stops by Lily's house to take them to school together. Lily's mom offers to drive them, but Lily puts on her most dramatic voice and says, "I'm going with this girl today. She's right here." Which in native English translates to, "Not today, mom. I'm going with my best friend." On the way, Aoi admits that she was quite surprised that Mr. Soft Renji has a friend who is, well, a beauty. But she quickly adds that it's okay. She thinks Lily has what it takes. She just needs to take things in stride and let her natural charm do the rest. Lily nods determinedly. She's ready to fight for love. That afternoon, as usual, they go to the arcade. But this time, Lily faces a new challenge, one that leaves her emotionally drained and physically exhausted. Renji begs her to stop, to back off. He knows she's reaching her limit, but Lily refuses. She can't give up now, not when she's so close to beating the whack-a-mole machine. She starts swinging the mallet like a woman on a mission, but the moles move like boy band dancers, dodging everything. She doesn't land a single hit. Renji begs her to stop. "This isn't your game, let it go." But Lily doesn't give up. The stakes are too high. If anyone scores more than 70 points on that machine, they'll win a limited edition manly koala keychain. Renji knows this. He works there, but Lily only got 26 points, which to be fair is what you get just for inserting the coin. Renji wants to help her, but he can't. She's holding the watch and helping her would break arcade protocol. Just then, Momo approaches and asks what's wrong. They explain the situation, and to everyone's surprise, Momo says she wants to help. Aoi expected Lily to respond with a "thanks but no thanks," but no, Lily agrees, smiling. Momo takes the mallet and adopts a very strange posture. Aoi is about to cringe in embarrassment when suddenly the two nerds from before appear and shout, "Wait, that's a kendo stance." In case you didn't know, kendo is basically just fancy sword whacking. The game starts and Momo smacks that poor mole so hard, it's like she hit the reset button on his little mole brain. She starts swinging that mallet like she's training for a full-blown ninja mole invasion. Poor guy never stood a chance. Lily watches as Momo absolutely obliterates the machine with terrifying precision. And in that moment she decides, best not to get on Momo's bad side. If she ever mistakes her for a mole, it's game over. By the end, Momo racks up a perfect score. Turns out her family runs a kendo dojo, and her dad's been training her since she was barely tall enough to hold a broomstick. She scores way more than necessary, so Renji hands her the prize, the legendary limited edition manly koala keychain. But Momo, being the wholesome queen she is, tells Renji to give it to Lily instead. He does, and Lily instantly flashes back to what Aoi told her that morning. Something about tapping into her natural charm. But then she also remembers how that poor mole got flattened like a pancake, so she nervously gives it back. Momo accepts it and considers keeping it as a sweet little souvenir. But right when she's about to tuck it away, Lily stops her and asks to see it one more time. She stares deep into the koala's little plushy eyes. And yeah, he really does give off strong action hero on his day off energy. She hands it back and gets ready for round 2. That keychain is now a matter of personal honor. Lily jumps back in the game, this time trying to mimic Momo's stance, but all she manages is a budget version that ends up smacking nothing but her pride. It's a full-blown cringe moment. Later that night, Momo hops on a video call with someone. We don't know who. She tells them all about her day, her new friends, and her new stuffed animal, a manly dog plushie. She shows it to the camera, and strangely enough, the plush looks exactly like a real dog. I have no clue what that was about. We're gonna need some serious context in the next episode.